Hi. So as you can see from the length of the video, it is pretty short, and it is kind of a stomp. Things don't go so well mid lane, you'll see why in a bit. So why did I bother uploading it at all if it's kind of a stomp? Well, I just had a lot of fun with it, honestly. I'm trying to be a lot more like upbeat in my cast right now, and I've just been feeling really good lately about how my life is going so far. So I'm trying to carry that over and really just create a more happy, jokey environment, and I think it translates pretty well. So without further ado, enjoy the cast, guys. And we are in. So this is going to be my first cast of a 6.78 game. And already we are seeing almost nothing different from 6.86. Seeing the same sort of picks, the same sort of offlaners, the same sort of supports, the same sort of roamers. It really didn't change too much, so far anyway. Alright, I'm just gonna, from the looks of things and from what I saw from the early game window, a bunch of these guys in here seem to know each other. So I am just gonna see if I cannot mute all chat. Alright, well I guess I should keep it up for entertainment purposes. So looking to the bottom lane, we're gonna have Beastmaster putting in early observer ward down here, hopefully blocking the camp. They did miss it. So they see him walking away, they're going to assume that he placed it somewhere around here. Do they have sentries? They do. Oh, they just spot it. They are going to go into bounty here. He's just outside of the sentry range though, and he is going to get out. He's going to place that. Oh, they have a second dust as well. That will be first blood onto Wholeheartedly. So they do just see this ward. This entry getting a ton of value, seeing both just here and just at the edge here with the bounty kill. Going to the top lane, I don't think Clockwork is going to be able to contest this too well. Almost was a god. He was almost a god. I was going to get gone on here, but they just don't have the movement speed. Looking over to the mid lane. We have a Queen of Pain versus a Dazzle. Okay. Level 1 Blink. Not going to have any harass early game, I suppose. So, after the Poison Touch buff, I suppose, new meta Dazzle mid lane. How much does this do? 14 damage over, what, 7 seconds? That's too hard. That math is too much for me. But it's about 98 or something. So far looking to be alright, but I feel like nothing's going to happen here until the bounty rotates in. And then until then she's going to blink away. Exciting stuff here on the mid lane. 3, 2, 1. And the engagement. And the blink. Incredible Dota. More interesting things happening in the top lane here. Shocking some mana away, ideally. But not quite happening. Oh, gets a little bit of mana there. Good stuff. Now the Creeper will be pushing in, so they have to back up. Jab's playing this decently well, getting a lot of harass on the Tiny. But he's getting thrown back into the tower. That's 2 tower hits. That's 3 tower hits. That's 4 tower hits. That is a dead Jabs. Back over to the mid lane. We have Dazzle and Queen of Pain still just going at it. Harass for harass, blow for blow. I'm so interested in what happens here. Especially when he takes free tower hits like that on a support with 2 armor. What am I saying? Support. This is a core. This is a core Dazzle, ladies and gentlemen. I would say boys and gentlemen. That does not work at all. Mo, however you pronounce that. Farming up the neutrals here. No Iron Talon though. What a scrub, clearly. I am not advocating he gets it right now. I'm just saying you normally see them pick one up. No flames here. This is a no flame cast. So we are seeing some decent CS all around. Queen of Pain seems to be doing quite well for herself against this Dazzle. Can't imagine why. Back to see some pinging. He has the double bore slow going onto the Venge here. She will be okay with this huge tower aura, providing, I believe, 1 armor. Indeed, 1 armor. So strong indeed. He will pick up his boots now though. Oh, and in the mid lane, Dazzle didn't win it. What a surprise. Now I am not knocking Dazzle mid lane in an absolute. I recognize that in certain matchups, especially melee ones, he can absolutely destroy. But this is not that matchup. This is a Queen of Pain. And it is not a good pick. Jabs with 9 last hits. Doing okay for himself. Farming about the same pace as the enemy offlaner. As you can see. Wisp is a little bit behind in Venge, not getting too many pulls off. He's just kind of sitting here with Tiny the whole time. So kind of soaking EXP. Not really accomplishing anything. Not pulling, not doing anything. The camp is right here for you to be pulling and stacking Sir. And Tiny's a great clearer of stacks, so again, it's just... I feel like this Wisp is really using his time inefficiently. He could just like pick up boots or the flying courier at least, or do anything with his gold too. And while we were talking about how useless Wisp is being so far, a Dazzle died in the mid lane again. So far I'm not liking the chances of the Dire here. They have the infamous Wisp Tiny that they can get a lot of nice ganks off with the Beastmaster Vision, but so far it's not looking like it's going to pan out that way too much. Now they did stack the camp here and Tiny did clear, just like I was talking about. So I'm glad to see some of that action going on. Should be able to finish it off with a nice little toss here. The forearms of a god, I'm sure. Now Bounty sitting in mid lane here, not accomplishing anything except soaking up the EXP of the Dazzle. You go, Bounty. You go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Fair Spirit has tunneled himself into the woods. Let's see. They do see him. They will roll onto him. Will they get an... Oh, they kick a nice kick back into the range of the stun. Second stun coming now. They should have the auto attacks to finish this off. No way Beastmaster gets out of this and he will fall. Over to the top lane. There appears to be a ping. Just an intimidation ping though. Nothing major. Now important to note, both teams' scans are online. Also important to note, both teams will not use their scans most likely for quite a while. And this is why scans are not game changing, really. They just don't get used very often. You'll see them like once every 8 minutes or so. It's not as big of a change as people thought it would be. Getting some hits in onto the 16, well, before that, 6 armor Sven. Getting lots of valuable harass and really just a great use of his time and down here in the bottom lane. Punching that Sven like that.
Dominating.
This will block the lane. Oh, and another kill onto the Dazzle here with help from the Earth Spirit. Not that she needed it, really. She just had an ultimate, and that's probably like over half his health. 290 pure damage. We'll see what his HP pool is when he respawns. Do they have the ult? They do not. Being scouted here. He's just gonna tether away. Tether on the chase, apparently. Nice, he gets in front of him. Stop the roll. Always very important when you're ganking an Earth Spirit. Try and get in front of him if you can. Sort of the Slark philosophy where you want to blink in front of him just as he's pouncing away so he stops his pounce. And they're really chasing for this, but it's really not doing anything. And this is something I talked about actually in an earlier video. It's so easy to get out from this position because you can just roll up to here or here and choose your outs. But because the entire Dire team has rotated for this roaming Earthshaker kill, they do manage to find it. Do they manage to lose like 500 to 1,000 gold in the process and creep kills? Kinda. Is it worth it? Obviously not. Alright. You know, if Tiny could just stay by this tower the whole game, he'd actually have armor. A nice buff overall, really. Unfortunately, you do have to move away from the towers every now and then. They should be able to take this bottom tower for free because they're rotating in a Beastmaster with no Aurora and no mana, and a Bounty Hunter with nothing to provide. Especially against a hero who has some dust and stuns and actually does something, like this Venge. A little bit of an odd skill build, going 2 points here and 2 points here. But you know, maybe there's a spend stack that they're going to want to try and farm. Although now that I'm looking, it does not appear to be the case. People stuck up here. I wish he'd been doing this a little earlier. Jamal should be fine here, just blinks out. There's nothing they can do about it, because he's not 6 yet. Unlike Clockwork, who is level 7, because he's actually been doing things.
Do it with flair.
Really feel like this Beastmaster could have just gotten Iron Talon, jungled this camp, intermittently with his, what's it, going down here. Especially due to this new path, there's so many options to get in and around the jungle now. You don't really miss anything. And he really could have been stacking here, although I suppose it is kind of a risk, because then your enemy Sven can farm them if your Tiny doesn't get. It's basically your Basil will likely fall here again. But yeah, until your Tiny gets ooh, nice heal, just getting some extra harass into the Queen of Pain, because you weren't killing her, but she's definitely killing you. But yeah, it's what I was saying, it was kind of a risk to stack your Ancients this early, I suppose. Even though he can farm them with Wild Axes if he so chooses, but he's probably going to be maxing Call of the Wild. And he is. And then he's probably going to be maxing Inner Beast again. Tiny does generally, I mean not generally, always benefit from the attack speed quite nicely though. Oh, the two creeps, this is the first time I'm seeing them like this. It's pretty nice. I like that it feels large, you know? And you can see from the numbers here, Dazzle's really falling behind in last hit. Oh, I can't imagine why. It's like he keeps dying or something. Weird how that keeps happening. Bounty Hunter was likely to fall here too, and he does. Very unfortunate for the Dire. I'm not liking their chances so far. But I appreciate their enthusiasm. Trust him. He's got it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tiny. Will they take this tower? Unlikely.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That was a nice TP out. The Dire were a little late on their rotations. If they had been a little earlier, they probably could have killed him. But Beastmaster will be forfeit. As will the Wisp. Tiny did TP back to the tier 1 top, but just not enough, and now he will be brought down as well. Wisp buying back for this, but it is a 5-second TP, and he will not get anything out of it. And now Jamal's looking to turn it back onto him, but it's just a little bit too much damage. He's missing a little bit too much HP. Now Wisp going for the big play, but it's just not quite enough. Lovely little range creep. Just doing his thing. Start some D-warding. Now that ward does block. It's right down this side here. Yep, just right there. So that one's going to be just out of vision, unfortunately. I really doubt they're expecting 2 sentries here, so when he puts one down, he's going to be like, oh my god, there's another one here that was blocking our camp. Actually, he knew they were blocking the camp. It was already, it had not spawned. What am I talking about? What am I paying attention to? Oh, a scan by the, let's see, by the Radiant here. Looking to see if anyone is waiting in their woods up here. Trying to gank the bottom tier 1. But the scan will reveal that there are no heroes there. I want to see where Dire Hawk Vision is right now. It doesn't appear to be any. Looks like it must have died. Unfortunate. On the courier for the Radiant here, we have a Smoke and 2 Obs. The Blade Mail finished up by the Clockwork. A very big pickup now that it's been buffed so much. And I have not been looking at items enough at all. But I have a feeling that Tread's Dazzle are not the items. That is a 3-man kick right there, and that is going to be probably the game. Like, I hate to call it so early, but with how poorly they're doing and how well Jamal is doing, it does not look good for them so far. If we were to check the net worth graph, which I don't even want to do because I'm scared for the Dire at this point, probably not looking too hot. That will be another death for the Dazzle. That is a solid 170. Unfortunately, he got that one kill, or else it could be 007. Let's go through items quickly because I really haven't touched on it too much at all. So So Earthspur picking up an urn. Pretty kind of late, honestly. Not what his team is doing. Nice kick, keeping himself alive. And he does have his Blink Dagger picked up. I believe that is a fresh Blink Dagger. Ideally, when you pick up your fresh Blink Dagger, you want your first gank of the game to be a kill. Also, you're kind of far behind now that the enemy team knows you have a Blink Dagger. And searching for a kill, but the swap will cancel the toss, and he will be brought down. Now Jamal, oh, that is unfortunate. Let's see some fight recap on that. 700 gold swing, not bad. Wisp will be coming back now. One stun. He has nothing to tether to. Goodbye, Wisp. I knew ye well. Sven picking up the last hit there. Building into an SNY. He already has his Humble Dominator finished. We've been seeing that creep do some work up here. It's kind of going on its own little journey, but anyway, we'll stack this camp. Right about now. Jamal is just owning down here. Picking up another kill on the Dazzle. You know, when he said he was joking, when he said he was feeding, I thought he was joking. Turns out he was just straight up telling the truth. Perhaps he's a prophet, and he can't escape his own destiny. So yeah, Queen of Pain with an Orchid and 2,200 gold on top of it. I would say she's fairly farmed, and hopefully she gets brought down here by the Dire. That is a huge pickup to get a Beyond Godlike streak, but no. The Orb Venom will not finish her off with the bottle charge, keeping her alive. And if they had gotten that kill, that'd probably be worth about, I don't know, 1,000 gold or so. Maybe more, honestly. That would have brought them not all the way back into the game, but definitely helped quite a bit, especially with a track kill on top of it. But now it's just gonna, not even gonna bring down the Clockwork. The Dire is just kind of imploding down here. Now it's just kind of one after the other, and now Dazzle's just gonna hopefully run away and not join the carnage. He has picked up his Windlace. God, I hate that this item exists. Before we get into that, let's just go over the rest of the heroes here. Alright, buying the Ultimate Orb. I believe that's probably for a straight up Scythe. Just pushing your advantage as much as possible. Maybe a Scotty, honestly. I could see how a Scotty would actually be pretty decent in the game just to survive the burst. But I'm feeling she wants to style and go for a sheep pickup. Dazzle will live here, not enough in the Orchid to take him down.
Not so fast.
Looking to do a preemptive grave to get himself out of the kill range. Rocket will not kill him now. So as we said earlier, Clockwork picking up the Blade Mail. After the buffs, a very strong item. I'm looking for it to hopefully do work this game. Sven has finished an SNY and a Blink Dagger now. He is extremely farmed. After taking some ancient stacks, I presume he has really skyrocketed in farm. Look at that, 155 last hits. This Tiny is not focusing enough on farming, I believe. But at the same time, you can make an argument that since they're so far behind, kills are worth so much that getting like one kill is worth 5 creep waves at this point on this Queen of Pain. Maybe 6 creep waves, I don't know. It's a lot of gold on this to get this Queen of Pain kill. And they do not see her. She is invisible. Man, that slow nerf was so big for Earthshaker. Now she doesn't have an ultimate here. That would have been a really nice ultimate. Grouping up like that on the Dire, but it's not quite enough. We could see a large stun here. And Sven going back in. The stun on 2. The Cleave is going to do work on this Tiny. And a nice TP out by the Wisp. TP out, I should say relocate. Saving his Tiny's life. We'll get the first stun off, will be the Sven. Jumping in, not getting anything done except his own life, apparently. Clockwork running in, like, I'm part of it too, guys, look at me. Oh, the 1 kill. Look at that, the support Venge for 578 gold. That is comeback at work, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, Vengeful Spirit picking up a Phase Boots, which the Dazzle probably should have gone into, even though he's really squishy. Maybe just skipped Boots entirely and gone for something a little bit tankier. Either way, if he hadn't fallen so far behind, I don't think going Treads is very good at all. It's really more of a comeback into the game kind of item, which that's why he's picked it up here. He just needs some HP to survive at this point because he just doesn't do anything if he's dead. And that is generally the case he finds himself in. Ideally, when you go a mid dazzle, you want to go for something like phase boots and really, maybe like a medallion, and really push your physical damage advantage. Honestly, I'm surprised the Dire have been able to hold for this long. They are really far behind, and I think that the, what was that? No, that was another Radiant one. Not sure why they were scanning there, exactly. I don't really think they were looking to set up anything. Seems odd. Scans are going to be this weird thing in Dota for a while, until people kind of, like, feel it out, see how its, like, main use is for. Generally, I think it's for sieging. Not sieging, but, like, not sieging tier 3s, but sieging tier 2s and stuff. I think it's really helpful for sieging tier 2s. And maybe a tier 1 even. Just to know if they're coming from the side on you. Like here, it's so useful to scan in this position right here. When you're like when you're sieging right here. Same thing when you're over here. If you scan onto the high ground here, just like knowing that somebody's over here is so nice to just be able to like jump in immediately and try and pick somebody off with that information. And it looks like the Dire have called end, please. So the Radiant are happy to oblige. I really doubt that the Dire could stop them if they tried. So an unfortunately slow, and not slow, an unfortunately short cast. But I think it showcased some things about the new patch, perhaps. Not really. Yeah, I don't think so either. Just kind of a fast game. Kind of a one-sided stomp on the Dazzle mid lane, just kind of ended it. The Queen of Pain's just too big compared to the Dazzle. So let's try and finish up some items here. So I never even got through them. So Necronomicon picked up on Beastmaster, yada yada yada. Blink Dagger on Tiny, we saw that in action. Io with a Urn. Not doing too much when they don't get any kills, ever. Dazzle picking up a Windlace. I'll go into why I hate that item in a second here. And Bounty with nothing. Alright, so why do I hate Windlace so much? So Windlace is an item that I find to be kind of oppressive in the sense that it's an item that the opportunity cost of not buying is so high because basically every single game, if you had it, it would either net you one more kill or like grant you one less death. So just by doing that, you have to buy it because it saves you or earns you more gold than it's worth. So there's no reason to ever not buy it except for inventory space, which is why I say it's oppressive because it locks out an inventory slot for something else because it's so useful. And like, I'm not overestimating 20 movement speed. 20 movement speed is so important. Like when you saw Enchantress go from 315 to 335, and same with Coddle, that's 20 movement speed. Would you pay would you pay 225 gold for that kind of a buff? Hell yeah, you would. So I'm gonna be buying this in like every single game I play support, just because it's so good. And I don't like it because I don't want to have an item that I have to buy. Because yeah, like Magic Wand is something that like I choose to buy most games, but there's other options. There's like an Urn, and there's like a Soul Ring, and there's other things that don't do the same thing as Magic Wand, but it fills the same kind of role. But this isn't regen, this isn't anything, this is just a thing like boots that you have to buy. So that's my rant on Windlace, and why I think it's a somewhat poorly designed item, even though it does cost an inventory slot, and I know inventory slots are oh so important on supports these days. And that's going to do it for this cast, a short stomp. But yeah, we saw a little bit of banter. That's going to be about it. So without further ado, GG guys.